call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
Bobby Green takes on Lance Gibson Jr. this Saturday at UFC Fight Night. And this is a last-minute fight that they threw together. I was going through the card, looking to make my last videos this week, and I see this fight pop up. So not even going to be a week's notice. I don't know if either of these guys were training for a fight. I don't understand the UFC's thought process on this. Like, this card's been on the books for a while now. I know there's only 12 fights on the card. I imagine they could have found people earlier who were looking to get a payday, looking to get another fight in before the holidays, before the 6-week break, going into the next card in late January. So I don't know, maybe they were talking about this fight and they just announced it, but it just doesn't make sense to me why we're throwing together these late notice fights. I don't know why Bobby Green, in the position that he's in right now on a 2-fight losing streak by finish, why he's taking a short notice fight like this. I get it's against a guy who's making his debut, but I just feel like Bobby Green, you've been taking punishment, you've been getting knocked out 1-3 over the last 2 years. You should be, looking to get full camps in, to be fully prepared to go into these next few fights because your job is essentially on the line. You're 39 years old. It just feels like a money grab to me. It feels like Bobby Green going into this, he probably makes 150 to show, 150 to win. Wants to get a good payday. He knows he's taking on a rather green guy making his debut. Wants to get that money before the holidays coming up. He knows his career's coming to the end. He's in the twilight of his career. Just turned 39. No chance of really going on a title run anytime soon. And I just assume that he's been somewhat staying busy, thinks that he's still got it, and has the ability to beat somebody like Lance Gibson Jr. on short notice, which he probably can. But at the same time, it's a very risky move, and I don't like what I perceive as the thought process of it going into this fight. You got Lance Gibson Jr., 30 years old, hungry, getting his UFC debut against a very experienced, popular, dangerous guy in Bobby Green. And Lance Gibson Jr., he was on a 5-fight winning streak in Bellator until he took his first and only loss to Vladimir Tokov, who's an 11-3 fighter out of Russia. His dad was in the UFC back in the year 2000. His stepmom is Julia Budd, who was a women's MMA pioneer back in the day. He grew up training, was in the cage, training with his dad, training with his stepmom since, a young age. Jiu-jitsu purple belt, got decent striking, but he got finished by Vladimir Tokov. He hasn't fought the best competition. After that was to Sharon Spain, who is 19-42. And then after that beat a guy who was 5-2. Before the Tokov fight, 15-12, beat a 4-2, 9-2, 6-2, going to decisions with these guys. So I think he's okay. I just don't think that he's going to have the ability to beat somebody like Bobby Green, who's going to be getting respect on the feet, who's got good takedown defense, who's got tons of experience, fought much better guys than Lance Gibson Jr. So although I don't like the circumstances that Bobby Green is taking this fight in, I think that given those circumstances, I still think that he's good enough to beat somebody like Lance Gibson Jr., who's just unproven, can be finished, and making his UFC debut on short notice. Just don't see him winning this fight. So I'm going to go with Bobby Green to get this one done. I think he'll start to box up Lance Gibson Jr., who will start to shoot. He'll defend the takedowns, and then he'll start to beat him up on the feet and get the KO. So I'm going to go with Bobby Green to get this one done by KO. Thanks.